Across the vast landscapes of China, nature has created some of the most dramatic and extraordinary environments on Earth. Towering mountains rise above clouds, immense canyons carve deep into the land, and colorful rock formations reveal millions of years of geological history. These places are not only breathtaking to see, but they also tell powerful stories about the forces that shaped our planet. In this journey, we will explore some of the most incredible natural landscapes across China, from frozen peaks and volcanic fields to waterfalls and ancient valleys hidden deep within the mountains. If you enjoy discovering remarkable destinations around the world, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more travel documentaries exploring the wonders of our planet. Langshan Danxia. Located in the mountainous region of Hunan Province, Langshan Danxia presents one of the most impressive examples of Danxia landforms in southern China. The landscape is dominated by massive red sandstone cliffs that rise dramatically above winding rivers and deep valleys. These formations were created over millions of years as layers of sedimentary rock were gradually uplifted and sculpted by erosion. Wind, rain, and flowing water slowly carved the soft rock into towering pillars, steep walls, and isolated peaks that now define the region's remarkable terrain. From a distance, the red cliffs stand out vividly against the surrounding forests, creating a striking contrast between the warm tones of the rock and the lush greenery of the valleys below. One of the most fascinating aspects of Langshan is the variety of natural shapes that have formed across the landscape. Some rock formations resemble giant animals or ancient sculptures, inspiring local legends and imaginative names for many of the peaks. Narrow trails and viewing platforms allow visitors to explore the terrain and admire panoramic views across the valleys and ridges. During sunrise and sunset, the red sandstone reflects the warm light of the sun, making the cliffs appear even more vibrant and dramatic. Recognized as part of the UNESCO-listed China Danxia World Heritage Site, Langshan Danxia stands as a remarkable example of how geological forces and erosion can create landscapes that feel both powerful and artistic at the same time. Fanjing Shan. Rising above the mist-covered mountains of Guizhou Province, Fanjing Shan is one of the most extraordinary and surreal peaks in China. This sacred mountain is known for its dramatic rock formations and its unique summit, where two temples stand on separate peaks, connected by a narrow stone bridge high above the clouds. The mountain forms part of the Wulong Range and was shaped over hundreds of millions of years by powerful tectonic movements that lifted ancient rock layers upward. Over time, erosion sculpted the terrain into steep ridges and towering pillars that now define the landscape. One of the most iconic features of Fanjing Shan is the Red Cloud's Golden Summit, a narrow, rocky peak that appears to split into two towering spires near the top. Visitors who climb the long stairways carved into the mountain eventually reach the summit, where the small temples perched on the rock create one of the most breathtaking and unusual architectural scenes in China. Beyond its striking appearance, Fanjing Shan is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site recognized for its remarkable biodiversity. The mountain's forests are home to rare species such as the Guizhou golden monkey and a wide variety of ancient plants that have survived for millions of years. Often surrounded by drifting clouds and soft mountain mist, Fanjing Shan creates an atmosphere that feels both mystical and timeless, combining natural wonder with deep spiritual significance. Mount Taibai. Rising high above the Qinling mountain range in Shaanxi province, Mount Taibai stands as the tallest peak in central China and one of the most impressive alpine landscapes in the country. The mountain reaches an elevation of more than 3,700 meters, creating a dramatic environment where ecosystems change dramatically with altitude. At the lower slopes, dense forests of pine and broadleaf trees cover the mountainsides, while higher elevations reveal rocky ridges, alpine meadows, and clear glacial lakes surrounded by rugged peaks. Over thousands of years, ice and weather slowly shape the terrain, carving valleys and leaving behind distinctive glacial formations that remain visible across the mountain. Because the Qinling Range forms a natural boundary between northern and southern China, Mount Taibai also plays an important role in the region's biodiversity, supporting a remarkable variety of plant and animal life. As visitors climb higher along the mountain trails, the landscape gradually transforms into a more open and dramatic alpine environment, where distant ridges stretch across the horizon. In the colder months, snow often blankets the summit, adding to the mountain's majestic appearance. From the highest viewpoints, the vast wilderness of the Qinling Mountains unfolds in every direction, creating a sense of immense scale and quiet isolation. Mount Taibai remains one of China's most impressive natural landmarks, where powerful geology and diverse ecosystems combine to create a truly extraordinary mountain environment. Cha Mountain. Among the many unusual landscapes scattered across China's mountainous regions, Cha Mountain is known for one of nature's most curious geological displays. The mountain is famous for its remarkable rock formations, where massive stones appear to balance delicately on top of one another. At first glance, these structures seem almost impossible, as if the heavy boulders could fall at any moment. Yet many of them have remained in place for thousands of years, shaped gradually by natural forces. Over long periods of time, wind, rain, and temperature changes slowly eroded the surrounding rock layers, leaving behind harder stone formations that now stand in precarious positions. Some rocks rest on narrow bases, while others lean against each other in unusual angles, creating formations that resemble sculptures crafted by nature. The surrounding landscape is made up of rugged slopes, scattered forests, and winding trails that allow visitors to explore these geological curiosities up close. As travelers move through the mountain paths, each turn reveals another surprising rock formation with its own distinctive shape. Local legends have even grown around some of the stones, with villagers giving them imaginative names inspired by animals or mythical creatures. Cha Mountain offers a fascinating glimpse into the slow but powerful process of erosion, where time and natural forces work together to create landscapes that appear almost magical. Jagana Stone Village. Hidden deep within the mountains of Gansu Province, Jagana Stone Village appears almost like a scene from another world. Surrounded by towering limestone peaks and steep green valleys, this remote settlement sits quietly in a landscape shaped by rugged cliffs and dramatic mountain walls. The village is built along the slopes of the valley, where traditional wooden houses blend naturally with the surrounding terrain. Over centuries, local Tibetan communities developed a way of life closely connected to the mountains, cultivating small fields and raising livestock in this isolated environment. The name Jagana is often translated as stone fortress, a fitting description for the massive rock formations that rise above the village like natural defenses. These cliffs were carved over millions of years as erosion slowly shaped the limestone mountains into towering pillars and steep ridges. Narrow paths wind through forests and across alpine meadows, leading to viewpoints where visitors can see the entire valley framed by dramatic peaks. In the early morning, mist frequently drifts through the village and along the mountainsides, creating a peaceful atmosphere that feels both mysterious and timeless. The combination of breathtaking scenery, traditional culture, and remote wilderness gives Jagana a unique charm rarely found in more developed tourist destinations. For many travelers, arriving in this hidden mountain village feels like discovering one of China's most beautiful and untouched landscapes. Zhangye, colorful Danxia. At first glance, the landscape of Zhangye, colorful Danxia, looks almost unreal, as if enormous waves of color had been painted across the mountains by a giant brush. Located in China's Gansu province, this extraordinary geological formation is famous for its vibrant layers of red, orange, yellow, and even purple rock that stretch across the hills in sweeping patterns. These striking colors were created over millions of years as layers of mineral-rich sandstone and other sediments were compressed and gradually uplifted by tectonic forces. Wind and water then carved the land into ridges, valleys, and rolling hills, slowly revealing the remarkable bands of color hidden within the rock. As sunlight moves across the landscape throughout the day, the mountains seem to change shades, creating a constantly shifting display that feels almost surreal. From high viewpoints built along the ridges, visitors can look across a vast panorama of colorful peaks that resemble giant waves frozen in time. The contrast between the bright rock formations and the deep blue sky makes the scenery even more dramatic, especially in the early morning or late afternoon when the colors appear most intense. Today, Zhangye colorful Danxia is recognized as one of the most spectacular examples of Danxia landforms in the world, attracting travelers, photographers, and geologists who come to witness one of nature's most remarkable natural masterpieces. Mount Huashan. Rising sharply from the plains of Shaanxi province, Mount Huashan is famous not only for its dramatic granite peaks, but also for being one of the most dangerous hiking mountains in the world. The mountain forms part of China's legendary Five Great Mountains and has long been regarded as a sacred Taoist site where temples and shrines were built high among the cliffs. What makes Huashan so extraordinary is the extreme steepness of its terrain, where narrow ridges connect several towering peaks that rise almost vertically from the surrounding landscape. Over millions of years, tectonic uplift and erosion carved the mountain into massive rock faces and razor-thin pathways that challenge even experienced climbers. Today, visitors can follow a network of ancient stone stairways and narrow trails that cling to the cliffs, sometimes requiring chains fixed into the rock to assist hikers along the steepest sections. One of the most famous routes is the plank walk, where wooden boards attached to the cliff allow travelers to carefully edge their way along the mountainside, hundreds of meters above the ground. Despite the intense challenge, the reward is breathtaking scenery. From the summits, sweeping views reveal endless mountain ridges stretching toward the horizon, while clouds drift slowly between the peaks. Mount Huashan remains one of China's most thrilling natural destinations, combining spiritual history, extreme adventure, and spectacular mountain landscapes into an unforgettable experience. Siguniang Mountains. In the remote highlands of Sichuan Province, the Siguniang Mountains rise like a dramatic alpine fortress above deep valleys and rushing rivers. Often called the Four Sisters Mountains, this stunning range is named after its four main peaks that stand side by side, each rising higher than the last. The tallest summit, Mount Yaomei, towers more than 6,000 meters above sea level and is often compared to the Great Peaks of the European Alps because of its sharp ridges and snow-covered slopes. These mountains were formed as the Tibetan Plateau slowly lifted upward through powerful tectonic forces, creating one of the most rugged landscapes in western China. Over time, glaciers carved deep valleys between the peaks, leaving behind dramatic cliffs, alpine meadows, and crystal-clear streams that flow through the region today. During spring and summer, wildflowers cover the valleys, while forests of fir and pine blanket the lower slopes. In winter, heavy snow transforms the entire range into a breathtaking world of ice and white peaks shining beneath the sun. Because of its extraordinary scenery and remote location, the Siguniang region has become a paradise for hikers, climbers, and photographers seeking untouched wilderness. Standing in the shadow of these towering mountains, visitors experience a landscape that feels both immense and pristine, where the power of geological forces and the beauty of alpine nature combine in one of China's most spectacular mountain environments. Yarlung Zangbo Grand Canyon. Carved through the eastern edge of the Tibetan Plateau, the Yarlung Zangbo Grand Canyon is one of the most immense and awe-inspiring natural landscapes on Earth. Often described as the deepest canyon in the world, this colossal gorge cuts through towering Himalayan peaks with cliffs that plunge thousands of meters toward the powerful river below. The canyon was formed over millions of years as the Yarlung Zangbo River slowly carved its way through rising mountain ranges created by the collision of tectonic plates. As the river twisted through the rugged terrain, erosion gradually deepened the valley, creating an enormous canyon that stretches for hundreds of kilometers across some of the most remote landscapes in Asia. The surrounding region is remarkable not only for its dramatic geology, but also for its extraordinary biodiversity, where tropical forests grow in the lower valleys while snow-covered peaks rise high above the canyon walls. In some sections, clouds drift slowly between the cliffs, creating an atmosphere that feels both mysterious and immense. From distant viewpoints along the canyon's rim, travelers can witness the breathtaking scale of this landscape, where powerful rivers, towering mountains, and deep valleys combine into a scene of overwhelming natural grandeur. The Yarlung Zangbo Grand Canyon remains one of the most extraordinary examples of the Earth's geological power, revealing the immense forces that continue to shape the planet's most dramatic environments. Huangguoshu Waterfall. Thundering through the lush landscapes of Guizhou Province, Huangguoshu Waterfall is one of the most powerful and spectacular waterfalls in all of Asia. From a distance, the immense curtain of water appears like a white wall cascading down a massive limestone cliff, sending mist high into the air as it crashes into the pool below. The waterfall stands more than 70 meters tall and stretches over 80 meters wide, creating a breathtaking display of natural force that can be both seen and heard long before visitors reach its base. Over thousands of years, the surrounding terrain was shaped by flowing rivers and erosion, gradually carving the cliffs and valleys that now form this remarkable landscape. One of the most unique features of Huangguoshu is the natural cave hidden behind the falling water, allowing visitors to walk along a pathway that passes directly behind the roaring cascade. From this vantage point, the view through the curtain of water reveals an extraordinary perspective of the surrounding valley and forest. During the rainy season, the waterfall becomes even more dramatic as massive volumes of water surge over the cliff, creating thick clouds of mist that drift across the nearby hills. Surrounded by dense vegetation and rugged rock formations, Huangguoshu Waterfall stands as one of China's most impressive natural landmarks, showcasing the raw beauty and unstoppable power of moving water. Nanyue Hengshan. Rising in the heart of Hunan Province, Nanyue Hengshan is one of the 5 great sacred mountains of China and has been revered for thousands of years as an important spiritual and cultural landmark. The mountain range stretches across a vast landscape of forested slopes, granite peaks, and winding valleys that create a majestic natural environment. For centuries, emperors, scholars, and pilgrims traveled here to worship and seek blessings, believing the mountain held powerful spiritual energy connected to heaven and earth. Numerous temples and ancient structures were built along the mountain paths, reflecting both Buddhist and Taoist traditions that flourished in the region. Among the most famous sites is the Nanyue Temple Complex at the foot of the mountain, one of the largest and most important religious temples in southern China. As visitors climb higher along the stone stairways that wind through forests of pine and bamboo, the air becomes cooler, and the views gradually expand across the surrounding countryside. At the summit, travelers are rewarded with sweeping panoramas of rolling mountains fading into distant horizons. During early mornings, clouds often gather around the peaks, creating a tranquil atmosphere where temples, forests, and mountain ridges appear to float above the mist. Nanyue Hengshan continues to attract pilgrims and travelers alike, offering a powerful combination of natural beauty, ancient tradition, and spiritual heritage that has endured for centuries. Yulong Snow Mountain. Rising above the ancient city of Lijiang in Yunnan Province, Yulong Snow Mountain stands as one of the most majestic and recognizable peaks in southwestern China. Its name, which means Jade Dragon Snow Mountain, comes from the way the mountain's 13 snow-covered peaks stretch across the horizon like the body of a giant dragon frozen in motion. The highest summit reaches more than 5,000 meters above sea level, and its permanent snowfields remain visible throughout the year, creating a striking contrast against the darker forests and valleys below. The mountain was formed as part of the powerful geological forces that uplifted the eastern edge of the Tibetan Plateau, creating a landscape of sharp ridges, glacial valleys, and dramatic cliffs. Over thousands of years, glaciers carved deep grooves into the mountainsides, shaping the rugged terrain that defines the region today. For the local Naxi people, Yulong Snow Mountain holds deep spiritual meaning and has long been regarded as a sacred guardian watching over the surrounding land. Visitors exploring the mountain can travel through forests of spruce and pine before reaching high alpine meadows where clear streams flow down from the glaciers above. As the altitude increases, the scenery becomes increasingly dramatic, with sweeping views of snow-covered peaks rising into the clear blue sky. Yulong Snow Mountain remains one of the most breathtaking alpine landscapes in China, combining natural grandeur, cultural significance, and the timeless beauty of ice and stone. Mount Emei. Rising above the misty landscapes of Sichuan Province, Mount Emei is one of the most revered and beautiful mountains in China, known as one of the four sacred Buddhist mountains. This towering peak has been an important spiritual destination for pilgrims for more than 1,000 years. The mountain slopes are covered with dense forests that stretch from subtropical valleys to high alpine ridges, creating a remarkable diversity of ecosystems along the climb to the summit. Over centuries, temples and monasteries were built along the mountain paths, forming a network of sacred sites where monks and travelers have come to meditate and seek spiritual insight. One of the most famous landmarks on the summit is the massive golden statue of Samantabhadra, a bodhisattva associated with wisdom and compassion in Buddhist tradition. From the highest viewpoints, visitors can witness a spectacular phenomenon known as the Sea of Clouds, where thick layers of mist gather below the peaks while the summit rises above them in clear sunlight. Sunrises on Mount Emei are especially breathtaking as the first light of day spreads across the clouds and illuminates the surrounding mountains. In addition to its spiritual importance, the mountain is also recognized for its extraordinary biodiversity, hosting rare plants and wildlife within its protected forests. Mount Emei stands as a remarkable blend of natural beauty, religious heritage, and cultural history, making it one of China's most inspiring mountain landscapes. Tengchong Volcano Field. In the far western region of Yunnan Province lies the Tengchong Volcano Field, one of the most fascinating volcanic landscapes in China. This area contains dozens of extinct volcanic cones scattered across a rugged plateau shaped by ancient eruptions. Millions of years ago, intense geological activity beneath the Earth's crust forced magma to the surface, forming volcanic mountains that gradually cooled and solidified into the dark rock formations seen today. Many of the volcanic cones remain remarkably well preserved, rising above forests and farmland like silent reminders of the region's fiery past. Some craters still maintain their circular shapes, while others have been softened by erosion and covered with vegetation over time. The volcanic soil left behind by these eruptions has created fertile ground that now supports forests, fields, and villages throughout the region. One of the most extraordinary features of Tengchong is its geothermal activity, where hot springs and steaming vents reveal that heat still exists beneath the surface. In certain areas, bubbling pools and rising steam create a surreal landscape that feels both ancient and alive. Visitors exploring the volcano field can climb the slopes of dormant cones and look out across a panorama of volcanic hills stretching toward the horizon. The combination of volcanic history, geothermal energy, and natural beauty makes the Tengchong volcano field one of the most unique geological environments in all of China. Gaoligong Mountains. Stretching along the border between China and Myanmar, the Gaoligong Mountains form one of the most biologically rich and remote mountain ranges in Asia. These rugged peaks rise sharply from deep river valleys, creating a dramatic landscape where steep slopes are covered by dense forests and hidden waterfalls. The mountains were formed by the immense tectonic forces that shaped the eastern edge of the Himalayas, lifting the terrain into towering ridges that continue to influence the region's climate and ecosystems today. Because the range spans a wide range of altitudes, from tropical valleys to cool alpine peaks, it supports an extraordinary diversity of plant and animal life. Scientists consider the Gaoligong Mountains to be one of the world's most important biodiversity hotspots, where rare orchids, ancient trees, and endangered wildlife thrive in relatively undisturbed habitats. Rivers cut through the mountains in deep gorges, creating natural corridors that add to the dramatic scenery of the region. For travelers and researchers alike, exploring these mountains means entering a world of lush forests, mist-covered ridges, and remote wilderness rarely seen elsewhere. In many areas, the landscape remains largely untouched, preserving the delicate balance between nature and environment that has existed here for thousands of years. The Gaoligong Mountains stand as a powerful example of the richness and complexity of Earth's natural ecosystems, offering a glimpse into one of China's most remarkable natural frontiers. Shangri-La Region. High on the edge of the Tibetan Plateau in Yunnan Province lies the Shangri-La region, a landscape that has long captured the imagination of travelers with its vast highland valleys, snow-capped peaks, and peaceful alpine scenery. The name Shangri-La became famous through literature as a mythical paradise hidden among the mountains, and the real region reflects much of that dreamlike beauty. Rolling grasslands stretch across the plateau, dotted with traditional Tibetan villages, prayer flags, and ancient monasteries that stand quietly against the backdrop of towering mountains. The region's elevation creates a cool, crisp climate where forests of spruce and pine grow along the hillsides, while open meadows spread across the valleys. In spring and summer, these grasslands are filled with wildflowers and grazing yaks, adding vibrant colors to the already stunning landscape. Rivers flow through the plateau, carving gentle valleys that guide travelers deeper into the highlands. Beyond its natural beauty, Shangri-La is also rich in cultural heritage, where Tibetan traditions, architecture, and spiritual practices continue to shape daily life. Monasteries perched on hilltops overlook the valleys below, and prayer wheels spin quietly in temple courtyards as pilgrims walk past in silent devotion. The combination of breathtaking scenery and deep cultural identity gives the Shangri-La region an atmosphere that feels both peaceful and timeless, making it one of the most enchanting destinations in Western China. Baiyun Mountain. Rising above the vibrant city of Guangzhou, Baiyun Mountain offers a refreshing escape into nature while remaining closely connected to one of southern China's largest urban centers. The name Baiyun means White Cloud Mountain, a title inspired by the soft clouds that often drift across its peaks after rain, creating a calm and picturesque atmosphere. Unlike the towering alpine ranges found in western China, Baiyun Mountain is known for its rolling hills, forested slopes, and scenic viewpoints that overlook the surrounding landscape. The mountain has long been admired for its natural beauty, and for centuries, poets and travelers have described its tranquil scenery in traditional Chinese literature. Numerous walking paths wind through the forest, leading visitors past lakes, gardens, and quiet pavilions built to complement the peaceful environment. From the higher viewpoints, sweeping views reveal the contrast between the green mountain slopes and the modern skyline of Guangzhou stretching across the horizon. Early mornings are particularly beautiful when sunlight filters through the mist and illuminates the valleys below. Despite its proximity to the city, Baiyun Mountain maintains a sense of calm that makes it a popular destination for hikers, photographers, and local residents seeking fresh air and scenic surroundings. The mountain stands as a reminder that even near large urban centers, nature can still offer moments of quiet beauty and connection with the landscape. Guangu Red Forest. Deep within the mountainous regions of central China lies the striking landscape known as the Guangu Red Forest, a place where vibrant colors transform the scenery into a breathtaking natural display. The forest is famous for the brilliant red tones that appear across the hillsides during autumn, when the leaves of countless trees change color and cover the mountains with deep shades of crimson and gold. This seasonal transformation creates a dramatic contrast with the surrounding rocky terrain and winding valleys. The region's varied elevation and climate support a rich mixture of plant species, allowing dense forests to thrive along the slopes. As the seasons change, the forest reveals different layers of color and texture, making it a destination that evolves throughout the year. Narrow trails wind through the woodland, guiding visitors past streams, cliffs, and quiet viewpoints that overlook the vast forest canopy. In early morning light, mist often drifts between the trees, adding a mysterious atmosphere to the already vivid landscape. During peak autumn months, The hills appear almost painted in red, creating a scene that attracts photographers and travelers seeking one of nature's most beautiful seasonal spectacles. The Guangu Red Forest stands as a powerful reminder of how seasonal change can transform an entire landscape, turning ordinary woodland into a spectacular display of color and natural beauty. Wulong Grand Canyon. Cut deep into the rugged landscapes of central China, the Wulong Grand Canyon reveals a dramatic world of towering cliffs, narrow valleys, and hidden rivers flowing far below the mountain ridges. This vast canyon system was slowly carved over millions of years as powerful streams cut through layers of rock, gradually deepening the valley and shaping the steep walls that define the region today. In many places, the cliffs rise almost vertically, creating a breathtaking natural corridor where sunlight filters down into the depths of the canyon. Dense forests cling to the slopes, covering the terrain with layers of green that change color with the seasons. In spring and summer, mist often drifts through the valley, softening the outlines of the cliffs and creating an atmosphere that feels both mysterious and peaceful. One of the most remarkable features of the canyon is its immense scale, where bridges and pathways allow visitors to explore the landscape from above, while waterfalls cascade down the rock faces below. Standing on one of the viewing platforms, travelers can look across a vast panorama of jagged ridges and deep gorges stretching toward the horizon. The combination of towering rock formations, flowing water, and untouched forest gives the Wulong Grand Canyon an almost primeval atmosphere, reminding visitors of the immense geological forces that shaped this extraordinary landscape long before human history began. Dehang Canyon. Hidden within the rugged mountains of Hunan Province, Dehang Canyon reveals a dramatic landscape of towering cliffs, narrow valleys, and powerful waterfalls that plunge into deep gorges below. The canyon was carved over millions of years as rivers slowly eroded layers of rock, creating steep walls that rise sharply from the valley floor. In many places, these cliffs soar hundreds of meters into the sky, forming a natural corridor where sunlight filters down between the rock faces. Dense forests grow along the slopes, adding vibrant shades of green that contrast beautifully with the dark stone walls of the canyon. One of the most remarkable features of Dehang is the spectacular waterfall that cascades from high above the cliffs, sending clouds of mist drifting through the valley below. After rainfall, the roar of falling water echoes across the canyon, creating a powerful reminder of nature's force. Traditional villages of the Tujia people can also be found near the canyon, where wooden houses cling to the mountainsides and narrow paths wind through the landscape. From viewpoints along the ridges, visitors can look down into the canyon and see rivers twisting through the valley far below. The combination of dramatic geology, waterfalls, and cultural heritage gives Dehang Canyon a unique character, making it one of the most impressive and atmospheric landscapes hidden within China's mountainous regions. Across China, landscapes shaped by mountains, rivers, volcanoes, and ancient geological forces reveal some of the most extraordinary natural environments on Earth. From colorful rock formations and immense canyons to sacred peaks and remote valleys, each place in this journey offers a different glimpse into the powerful forces that shaped our planet over millions of years. These remarkable landscapes remind us how diverse and breathtaking the natural world can be. If you enjoyed discovering these incredible places across China, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more travel documentaries exploring the most fascinating destinations on Earth.